So I don't think you can see that very well in there, but oh well. That there is a PlayStation. That might surprise some of you, what with the box saying PlayStation on it and that being a PlayStation. But yeah, it doesn't work, but that was to be expected. So I'm going to keep this quick. So that PlayStation I bought boxed for not very much money at all, half expecting it to obviously be non-functional. The CD drives are notorious on those things. They were when they're brand new, let alone now, maybe some 25 or so years after that particular one was made. But I tested it this morning and it doesn't even get as far as I was hoping it would do, which was to get to like the black PlayStation sort of boot screen. So I think the board has got something else that's a bit more defective about it. So I'm just heading off towards Nara today, to Kashihara City mostly, to see if I can find a PlayStation in hard-off, or one of the second-hand stores that I know that's in that area, to see if I can find one that will at least get through to the black PlayStation screen, and then use that as a donor board, because it would be nice to get it working. The reason that I'm doing this is because I don't really expect to use the CD drive. I'm hoping to put an XStation or a PSIO or something, or PSIO, or however that's pronounced, into it. So that's basically what I'm up to today. Yeah, so let's go and see if I can find a suitable donor PlayStation for it. That's what they do on escape videos, isn't it? To mark basically what footage they're actually going to use. This is Haibara. It's just over the border in Nara, and usually you guys like to see what I'm eating. So this is a soy sauce sort of shoyu salt sort of onigiri, custard cream thing, and hash brown. I was a bit lacking on the green stuff in there, so I might have to pick myself up a salad or something later on, because I need some actual vitamins, but that'll do for now. I decided let's eat now, because the last time I recorded a video like this, I don't think I ate until about 6 PM or something like that. So but yeah, it's a really nice area around here. Still very rural, but Nabari and this sort of area is all sort of very much inaka, you know, sort of rural location. But yeah, it's nice out here. Anyway, it's really hot. It's still 33 degrees, and yeah, it's still mid-September, so it's still blooming hot here in Japan. So I'm gonna eat so I can actually put the aircon on, and you can actually, well, I didn't put the engine running or turn the engine on. How do you say these things? I didn't turn the engine over to put the aircon on, because otherwise it would just be really noisy. Anyway, I'm jabbering now. I've got no shortage of potential candidates. This is 7,000. Honda Nomi. That's okay. There's a 9,000, that's no good. It's a bit more expensive, but that's a 5,500. What does it say? Dengen hairimashita ga soft yomi komimasen hontai nomi. Oh, that's no different to this one, and that one's much cheaper. It's have a look back here. What's this one? 9,000. Oh my god. What's this? Hyundai Nomi. It's another 7,000. Also boxed and PS2s and wow. I've already spotted something that can come back with me today. The original Daytona USA. No price on it, but probably 110 yen. So that ain't bad going, is it? Great, now let's tidy all this up. Yeah, so this Hardoff's got an amazing junk section. So many are so barren these days, but this one's a little bit off the beaten track, so it's pretty good. Yeah. Oh, I'm almost certain that was me. Let's put it back. Ah, there you go. Label no nai junk shohin subete 110 yen desu. So, yeah. 110 yen. Ooh, there's a... Oh, it's a multi-tap. I thought that was a remote control. Right, I'm not done yet. So, there's a few junk bins here. I want to find a half-decent... It's not too bad, is it? But original style. No dual analog. Just because. Found one. Little clean-up. So yeah, that'll be okay. Got sent out shopping again, so I got told to buy 2 PlayStations, a controller and a copy of Daytona USA. So yeah. So much here. See, there is no shortage of anything in this store. It's a bit expensive, but nice to look at. Magical drop 2 there. I paid a third of that. Yeah. Well, I've not done too bad, I don't think so. NSX2 there, Sanyo. It has started morning. Ugh. Hello, Roland. This is where I wish I had one of those push button things. Well, not that pocket, it's never in the pocket I first look in. Oh god damn it, where's my keys? Ah. That's my washing getting soaked then. Ugh. it's another day. I got back last night about 6 p.m, but I was just too tired to record. And what's all this about here? Well, I think most of you have probably realised by now, if you've been watching the channel for a while, or if you have been watching this video so far, that I don't do YouTube as some professional endeavour. I mean, essentially what you're listening to here is just some dork talking about stuff that they like. So, and the PlayStation has a hugely important role in my life, as it were. The original PlayStation, of course, because hopefully you picked up on that yesterday, because that's what we was looking at. Yeah, I've got a couple of copies of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater here, the first and the second one. These are the Japanese editions, because that's where I live. And it was these games that really cemented my love for the system and introduced me to skateboarding. This is my current park deck, so I'm going to move this all out of the way, and I'm going to show you what I picked up yesterday, and then I'm going to go on to testing the stuff, and then behind the scenes I'm going to tidy up the unit that I got, get it fully working so that it's all as good as it can be. Okay, so this is the boxed PlayStation that I bought. As you can see, the box is in amazing condition. In fact, on the back there is the dealer stamp showing that it was bought from somewhere called Big O, maybe? It's hard to make out what the thing is after O, but it's bought in the Sapporo branch. So yeah, Sapporo Shi Chuoku Minami Ichijo Jonishi, maybe Ichome. I think that's I think that's right. Anyway, so yeah, so that was it even has the date, 1997, so December 15th, 1997, so almost 30 years ago. That's scary, isn't it? So yeah, this was really nice condition. Got all of the paper manuals that go with this particular model as well, the SCPH 7000. So let's move that out of the way. So this here is the PlayStation that I picked up that was in that box. As you can see, I disassembled it because it was non-functional and ended up with 2 extra screws, so they go in here somewhere, so I'm going to figure that out, but they're safe and sound there. But otherwise, the condition of this unit is absolutely brilliant. It's in very good condition, which I can't remember if I said it in the footage that I recorded in hard off. I don't think I did, but the condition of a unit is not always a guide to whether it's going to work or not, so that's why testing these things is really important. But overall, this is in great condition, but will only boot to the white Sony Computer Entertainment. That's right, yeah, SCE screen. It won't even go through to the memory card or CD player selection screen, nor will it go through to the PlayStation logo on the black screen if you put a disc in. I tried everything. I connected the motor of the CD drive to a battery just to make sure that the drive said move back and forwards, which it did. I cleaned the laser with some 100% isopropyl alcohol, no difference. What else did I do? Made sure that there was no mod chip that had come loose on the main board. Okay, candidate number 1. This is, I believe, the SCPH 7000. Yep, as you can see there. So I'm going to remove this label, pop it on the bottom of that other one. Overall, it's in fine enough condition. I mean, it's all there, it's all intact, you know, it's not missing any covers or anything like that, but it is absolutely fully working. I don't know how long for, to be honest with you. I'd imagine the CD drive, if it's not on its way out already, will not be long for this world. PlayStation ones or PSXs are notorious for CD drive failure, especially the very early ones, so but it might be okay for a bit. So but it works, and for 880 yen that was really good. Candidate number 2 is this one. This is an SCPH 5500, so that matches presumably the good looking one that I've got that is non-functional. This one, however, is fully functional. Loads games absolutely fine, no FMV skipping, played an audio CD, no skips, no problems at all, absolutely great. Everything about this at the moment is fully working. It's just really grubby. This is grubbier than the SCPH 7000, but it's all intact. It will all clean up nice enough. And this one was 550 yen with the tax, so which is fantastic. So this was a DualShock controller that I think I may have bought. It was either in Yamagata or it was in more than likely in Akita City when I used to live up in northeast Japan about 4 years or so ago now. So it's got the the usual kind of yellowing on the connector, which a lot of these have, unfortunately, and it's also got the wear and tear on the left thumbstick on the DualShock controller, but it's fully functional. It all works. In fact, I probably did that playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, so that's all good in my book. It shows that I've enjoyed playing games. The only reason I point this out is because I had a DualShock controller already, but as you can see, it's not the best example of one. But it's all functional. It's all good. And also, the other thing I wanted to point out is that in Akita City, and I know this for sure, I bought a PS1 like what I've just shown you 4 or so years ago, and it worked for a while. It was only like 300 yen or so, I think, from memory, so 330 yen with tax in the junk section of a hard off there. I'm pretty sure it's hard off, and it worked for a bit, but eventually the CD drive just packed in, and I ordered a replacement CD drive off of AliExpress at the time. It didn't work, didn't even spin up the CD, so at that point I just basically gave up on the PS1 because somebody had very kindly given me a PS2 Slim that was absolutely fine, still works to this day. But now, call me crazy.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
I picked up this is obviously an original form factor Sony PlayStation controller. It's amazing how much lighter these are compared to the DualShock controllers. If you've not had one of these for a while, or maybe even never had one, these are quite substantially lighter, almost as light as maybe a Super Famicom controller. Yeah, it needs a bit of a clean up, but otherwise no yellowing on the connector, which is nice. So yeah, I just got one of these because it was 550 yen and I thought, what the hell, why not? Okay, decided to sit down, so I picked up a couple of games, and these will probably be the last physical games that I'll buy for the PlayStation. Famous last words. So the first one is Gun Bullet. This was Point Blank in the West. Paid 550 yen for it, which is really good. It's complete. As it says, disc ni shoujo kizu arimasu. So basically just got a small amount of scratches on the CD, but this wasn't in the junk section, so it's been tested. But yeah, really nice condition. Got the Olby there. So yeah, this is a really good light gun game. And the other game that I picked up was Micro Machines, or Micro Machines V3. I had no idea this was released over here. This was bought on a bit of a whim. I saw it there and I thought, that is such a fun game. This supports up to 8 players. Never done that myself, as it says here. Saiko Hachinin play kano, so you can play up to 8 players. It's the best kind of idea. So, but yeah, really rad game. 880 yen for that. So this one obviously won't work in the PlayStation, but Daytona USA, 110 yen. It's in really good condition overall. Disc is great. So yeah, I've got the Championship Circuit Edition for the Saturn, the later one that came out, which improved the graphics rendering. But this one has always been said to have the best gameplay between this and the revised version. But yeah, I thought 110 yen, why not? The last thing that I bought was this. It's a PlayStation DualShock controller that's boxed, which goes back to why I showed you that other DualShock controller, because this one is in fantastic condition. I'm not going to say it's mint. So yeah, it looks beautiful. There is no yellowing perceptible on the connector. A bit of a sort of burn mark there, or something like that, but it's fine. You can see that the sort of like the grippy coating on the analog sticks is on the verge beginning to start peeling away if it's used. But I think I'll keep this one for good. Keep this one for best. But yeah, it's not often that I see a actual boxed DualShock controller, or any boxed controllers for that matter. You can buy loose controllers in really good condition all day long here in Japan. But I have a bit of a thing, so I'm just going to show you this. I did say in an update that I put out earlier on this year about the future of this channel that I was just going to be leaning into cool shit that I want to talk about. So this is me leaning into cool shit that most people find mundane, that I'm leaning into because I think it's cool. This is a box for a Super Joy card. As you can see, this is not in particularly great condition. But the fact that it is in reasonable condition is actually quite a miracle, because this is really flimsy cardboard. Cornflake box quality cardboard, in fact. This is for well, what it says on the tin. This is a Super Famicom controller. I do have the controller, bear with me. Here it is. The controller itself was, I mean, it's basically brand new old stock. This has become my preferred controller of choice for the Super Famicom. So anyway, so that's one box controller. Move that out of the way. PC Engine mouse. Don't see many of these, do you? Especially boxed. This shrink wrap is not the original. So this would have been put on by Hardoff. I bought this in Miyazaki Prefecture about 3 years ago. It was just in the junk section there. It all works. There are not many games that support the PC Engine mouse, even less than Super Famicom, of which I have a boxed one of those as well. I'm not going to bother digging that out. So, but yeah, it's in really good condition. Absolutely 100% functional. I paid 1,100 yen for this, and I saw one last week in Suragaya in Nagoya, down in Akamon, for 6 times the price. So that was a really good find. I have a super multi-tap here. The box is in fair condition. It's a little bit faded. This pink, it was like a more fluorescent colour. In fact, if I lift that, you can see the original colour there. There you go. That would have been the original colour of the pink on this box, but that kind of colour fades in UV, so not a lot of these are in that kind of condition, so it's a little bit faded, but the actual card, apart from, as you can see, there's a rip there, is in really good condition, and the actual multi-tap itself is fantastic. So basically brand new old stock again. Picked that up in, I want to say, Toyohashi in Aichi around about a year ago. I can't remember what I paid for that. I might have slightly overpaid for this one from memory. I might have paid about 2,000 yen for it, but it was in such good condition that I thought, well, I've been looking for one of these for ages, and there it is. I'm going to pull the trigger. So I did with that one. This is not so much a controller, but essentially a console for a console. This is a Super Game Boy 2. The box is not great. It's okay. I bought this on Yahoo Auctions 4.5 years ago. Didn't pay a lot of money for it. Obviously, the Super Game Boy 2 is not in this box, but it's absolutely complete. It has all the inserts and everything for it. I think I paid about 3,000 yen for this. You won't. You'll pay a bit more for it these days. And the last thing I'll show you is a box PC Engine multi-tap. This is the 5-port version. There was an earlier 3-port version. So I found this up in Hachinohe. Well, getting on for 5 years ago, maybe. No, because I've not been in Japan for 5 years. About 4.5 years ago. It was quite soon after I moved to Japan, though. Yeah, it's in mint condition. Had everything that you'd expect. It's clearly been used. I mean, the box shows you that. But I paid about, I don't know, I can't remember now. Let's say 1,000 yen for it. So, oh, there's one more thing. I just mentioned that I went to Nagoya last weekend. Have you ever seen one of these? They're basically bog standard crappy quality stereo headphones, but they're Nintendo Game Boy branded ones. Inside, I'm not going to open it because this is absolutely pristine, this box, but inside is some crappy cheap sort of, you know, sort of dollar store or Daiso quality earphones. They're still in like the shrink wrap, you know, like it's never been opened. So, but I just thought it was cool because it had the Game Boy branding on it, so why not? I paid 200 yen for that, so yeah, buying little boxed accessories and stuff for consoles is a little side thing that I have going on. I don't really look out for it, but if I do find them at a good price, I'll go for it. And so this fit the bill. So for 1,320 yen. So yeah, it's not too bad. They generally go for more than that. So yeah, that was pretty rad. Anyway, I've spoken way longer than I wanted to for this part, so I'm going to move on to cleaning up the machine now because I want to crack on with that because later on today I want to go skating. And I don't just mean in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. So far so good?
Great.
Okay, so I've not somehow damaged the board during the transplant. So next is to see whether the CD drive that I took out of this originally, but was with a defunct motherboard, to see whether it actually works. So I'm going to use Ridge Racer Type 4. So far so good?
Nice.
This, by the way, is my favourite FMV on the whole PlayStation. This is the Neon Genesis Evangelion soundtrack.
It's a quality action.
The reason why audio CDs are a good test is because, a bit like the FMVs, it has to literally stream the data off the CD to play it. And of course, obviously, if there's any issues with the drive, it will show up on things like FMVs or audio playback. Well, I'm going to clean this one up, button it up, and swap the labels over.
He's the one for me, and there's no place I'd rather be. Yeah, yeah, yeah. To the finish line, everywhere you look, he's right on time. With a silent stare, raging through the open air, he's without care. Everywhere you look, he's right on time. Moving to the beat. Can you feel the heat when the tires kiss the street?
Just before I remove this label, some of you might wonder what this Esquisarazu means on the bottom of it. It's just basically the manufacturing location of these machines. So in Chiba Prefecture, Sony has a manufacturing facility. So, in fact, all three of these PlayStations were made in the same place, but sometimes you might see a different name on there, and it's just the name of the manufacturing location, in case you was wondering. Well, the rain has come. The plants are getting a little bit of water. So there we go. That's my PlayStation video made, I guess. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'd be really interested to see what you had to say down in the comments below. So, got any comments on what I've been up to or anything you'd like to know, let me know down there. But main thing is I'm just really super stoked to have a really nice PlayStation, the original one, that's all fully functional, and at some point in the future I will get it modified with one of the ODE's, optical drive emulators. But for now I've got a few games that I bought a few years ago for the PlayStation when I first picked one up here about 3 or 4 years ago. Unfortunately that one died and I never really spent any time trying to fix it, but this one's working absolutely great. So I've got all the lovely accessories and everything for it, and yeah, I think really there's only one last thing for me to do, and that's just to enjoy playing on it tonight. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was just me leaning into cool shit that I like to talk about. That's what I said I was going to do more on this channel, and well, here I am doing it. So I think I'll leave it there, and yeah, I'll see you in another one of these. Take care everybody, bye bye.